Okay, hi everyone. I'm Sheila Belanger, and welcome to this webinar, Quick Mindset Remedies for What Ails You. Here's a quote from Deepak Chopra to help us start. If you restore balance in your own life, you will be contributing immensely to the healing of the world. And oh my goodness, do we ever want to contribute to the healing of our precious world right now? So thank you for being here today. So here's a couple of key points I'm going to cover with you in this quick mindset remedies for what ails you. The roots of your wounded inner figures, some inner wisdom mindset remedies, where they come from, and then 4 specific quick mindset remedies. Your inner critic remedy, your inner wounded child remedy, your inner escapist remedy, and your inner denier remedy. And then I'll give you a little opportunity to get some information on the Vibes community, invite you to join us, and then some Q&A. And keep your Q&A, you can keep it to the end, or if you're going to step away before the end of the webinar, put it in the chat and I'll pick it up at the end. Okay, great. Okay, so who am I? I'm Sheila Belanger. Whoops, I'm a fast-moving character. I'm a strategic transformation coach. And as a certified coach, I use a process-oriented approach to guide you at the edge, the place where your past and future selves meet. For over 39 years, I've effectively translated mindset shifting inner work practices into life-changing ways for thousands of clients. I love doing this work to support my people. So here's a threshold moment. I love doing this with an online presentation, and it just means take a moment to transition into the journey. So if you can, turn off your other devices and tabs. Let yourself create a supportive personal space. Recognize that this journey, even though it's a webinar with a little screen in front of you, is choice-based. So anything that I'm offering or commenting on that isn't supportive for you, you just let it go. And then I like to work with what I call the 3 C's of online community, which are confidentiality, courage, and compassion. Now, you're in this webinar, you're not going to have a chance to do individual sharing with anyone. And yet I still would love you for you to connect to confidentiality, that you keep in your heart whatever happens for you, unless you choose to share it with someone else. You do a shout out to your courage to stay present in these crazy times, and compassion for yourself and the world. Thank you. So here's an experiential threshold practice to get us warmed up. It's really simple. You'll recognize it from many traditions. Take a moment to get your feet on the ground, unless you want to be sitting cross-legged in your chair or standing, and really just feel your feet on the earth and take 3 deep rhythmic breaths. Breathing in from the earth, grounding, blessing energy from the earth. Exhaling, sending love and connection to the earth. Take a deep breath in, feel the earth supporting you, coming into your body. Exhale, feel your love going down into the earth in gratitude. And one more time, breathing in. Groundedness. Exhale, breathing out love and gratitude. Great, thank you for that. Okay, when you're at the edge of inner changes, you can feel uncertain about where to go next. We all know that feeling, and my goodness, right now, tons of edges inside and out. Where do we go? How do we navigate? Inner edges are challenging because at these edges, you know that your old life and identities are over, but you do not yet know who you are becoming nor where you're going. And this is personal and collective. We're all in a huge initiation journey. The old ways are over, even though they're fighting so hard to still exist. But we don't know who we're going to become in the world, in our societies, in our families. It's very challenging, the inner edges. And especially when you're at the edge of inner changes, your wounded inner figures can sabotage your ability to go forward. Does this character look familiar, even though it's appearing in a male body? I think we all have versions of this. No, we're not gonna change. Okay, bless you. Now, 4 common wounded inner figures sabotaging mindsets that are here. You get caught in toxic smallness story, very, very strong inner figure. wounded inner figure. You get fearful, angry, and resentful. You disassociate and check out. You get hopeless and shut down. Now, does any of that sound familiar? Take a breath for a moment. Our inner wounded figures are universal, and we can have all of these operating at the same time. So just take a moment of just loving yourself and saying, yeah, I'm human. You need to access mindset remedies from your inner wisdom first aid kit to help remedy your wounded inner figures, limiting mindsets that hold you hostage. And you've got that. You've got an inner wisdom first aid kit. You also need a map to help you navigate unfamiliar inner territories so you can break your wounded inner figures' spells and be free to move forward. We all want to get out of the cage, every single one of us. Doesn't matter where we live, our gender, our race, our culture, our age. We all want to get out of that cage of our inner wounded figures' spells. So here's the map I love, the Transformation Journey Roadmap. This is my signature roadmap as a guide to navigate your edges of change. And what we're working with, there's 6 stages. I'm not going to spend the time right now. I'm going to refer you to a YouTube video I've done, or you can join my Vibes community and get right into it if you like. But basically, we're working with tracking your inner figures, stage 1. So important. You got to track when they're holding you hostage before you can do anything to shift it. Okay. So everything I'm giving you in this webinar is rooted in the Transformation Journey Roadmap. And again, you can go to my YouTube channel, which is called that, Transformation Journey Roadmap, and you can go check out this video, which is a good explanation and introduction to the roadmap. So you're so much more than you think you are, especially who your wounded inner figures think you are. Take a look at that expanded view for both of these good humans. Yep, you're much bigger than you think you are. You carry so many selves within you. So many selves. You have wounded as well as wholeness inner figures. We all do. It's the nature of the inner ecosystem. Okay, there's a whole ecosystem of characters inside all of us. And the dominant wounded inner figures are often habitual and rooted in your adaptive childhood survival strategies, which we all have. And this isn't about blaming parents or grandparents. It's the nature of getting enculturated and conditioned in our societies. Now, these inner wounded figures believe that their job is to protect you by keeping you small, safe, and invisible so that you socially belong, that you don't get kicked out of the family, the school, the culture, the friendships. I call them, they're your limiting protectors in quotation marks. They think they're trying to protect you, but actually what they do is cage you. Now, some of the material I'm bringing you in this webinar comes from the Wild Mind Map, which is a book by Bill Plotkin and a way of looking at the inner psyche, a field guide to the human psyche. And this is a great book. I recommend it if you're interested, go look at it, because you can explore your inner wholeness allies, which you have inside of you, as well as your wounded figures. And you can use the Wild Mind, a nature-based map of the human psyche. So I want to do a shout out to that because I'm using some of the material in this webinar. So expand your mindset by accessing your 4 ways of knowing in your Inner Wisdom First Aid Kit. Now, your 4 ways of knowing are primary intelligences every single one of us carries. Most of us have them undeveloped, okay? And it's your sense wisdom, your way of knowing. You know, your body knows, your gut, your feelings, your heart knows so much, your emotional wisdom. Your imagination, a wisdom that's often denigrated in our Western culture, in our colonial dominating culture. Your imagination, what's your imagery? What do you imagine? What do you envision? Your mental, but this is what we call deep thinking, not your strategic, crazy squirrel mind that's constantly going at 100 miles an hour in your head. It's like, oh, get grounded. It's my like heart mind, as the Buddhists would say. It's a deep thinking. It's a wisdom that is deeper in your being than the superficial, strategic mind. So your 4 ways of knowing, we're going to explore them with these quick remedies. So you can use your 4 ways of knowing to tap into your inner wisdom. And another way of talking about them is your 4 windows of wisdom. They're your ways of knowing. It's like the wisdom, the window through which you look at life can be through any of those 4 intelligences. You know, your senses, your body wisdom, of window of wisdom, your feeling window of wisdom, your imagination window of wisdom, and your deep thinking window of wisdom. And some of this concept comes from Eligio Stephen Gallegos and his book, Animals of the 4 Windows, to do a shout out to him. Okay, so here they are. And I'm doing this quickly, but just essentially it's where you perceive, you learn about yourself through these different windows of wisdom, as I said. And we're going to be seeing each of them as we go through the remedies. So now I'm going to give you quick mindset remedy number 1. Here's where I'd like you to have your journal or sketch pad ready, because we're going to go through a really quick mindset remedy. What I'm doing is giving you experiential practice in something you can use anytime that you figure out which inner figure is giving you grief, okay? So let's start with that favorite one of all of us, the wounded inner critic, okay? Now, your wounded inner critic sabotaging mindset uses self-diminishment to keep you trapped. Who do you think you are? That's not going to work. Nobody wants to hear you. All these nasty, constrictive diminishment. Again, remember, trying to keep you safe and invisible, but causing you tons of pain. Right? Its strategy is to cage you in a toxic smallness story. Now, I'm not seeing any of you. You can shout out in the chat, yeah, I know this one. And I bet you the chat's going to light up right now because we all know this one and versions of it, but it's the inner critic. Okay, so we're going to give you a quick mindset remedy for this one. All right. So the symptom of your inner critic is you're caged in a toxic smallness story. Your inner wisdom first aid kit remedy is your deep thinking wisdom. All right. Quick mindset remedy is expand your perception. And people were about to go through this as a quick remedy. Open your perception. Get out of the cage of the inner critic. Okay. So you're going to come explore a deep thinking remedy from your inner first aid kit so you can support yourself when your inner critic gets activated, which is usually all the time. Okay. So we're using the thinking window, which is heart-centered thinking. You can ask, what does my deep thinking know? Which means you go underneath your everyday strategic mind that is in a tizzy most of the time, and you drop down deep. And you pause to notice what you notice from your deep thinking, okay? So the remedy for your self-diminishing toxic smallness moves is to get a more expanded perception. I love this picture of this woman because it's like, open up what you see, okay? So here's the practice. I invite you to get yourself comfortable, sitting or standing. You can have your eyes open or closed, whatever feels comfortable. Closed eyes might be helpful. And we're going to go right into remedy number 1. So take a nice deep breath, very slowly. And then as you exhale, I invite you to close your eyes and notice whatever comes up when I ask you this question. Identify one challenging situation in your life where your inner critic is offering its toxic smallness commentary to diminish you. And you'll know what it is right now. Just notice it. Don't let it come over and take you off, but just notice it. Okay, keeping your eyes closed. Stop any external tasks and slow down and just be still for a few minutes. You've identified the phrase or the move and just get yourself quiet. So take some breaths, feel your feet on the earth. Be gentle with yourself. Hold the commentary lightly. Don't let it come in. Okay, to quiet your mind, now take 3 slow, deep breaths. And as you do, feel each out breath going through your nostrils. Be with your nose. Nice deep breath in. Easy breath out. Feel the air going through your nostrils. Take another deep breath in. Exhale slowly. Air through nostrils. Feel it. One more brief breath in slowly. Feel the air exhale through your nostril. Keeping your eyes closed. Now imagine that your mind grows roots deep into the earth and perceives patterns of interconnectedness. Do this in whatever way is right for you. You can imagine roots from your mind going down through your body to the earth. On into that mycelium layer. Just imagine your mind having roots in the earth. Okay. Now, with your eyes closed, feeling the roots in the earth, hold the challenging situation in your quieted mind and allow any insights to emerge. None of them need to come, but just hold quietly with your rooted mind that challenging situation or comment. And just notice what you notice. And just trust. Even if nothing comes, recognize that just to slow down and invite connection to your deep thinking wisdom can break the spells of the inner critic. Okay. And trust whatever happened is the right thing to have happened. Okay. And then I invite you to gently open your eyes and just take a minute, maybe jot anything down that you want, or just sit quietly and just notice the difference in you from having been willing to do that. Okay, going to move on. And just help you see, here it is, inner critic symptom. You get caught in a toxic smallness story. Notice when that's happening. Your remedy, deep thinking wisdom. Connect to your capacity to see a bigger picture and track the larger patterns of change in your life. It's like root down, okay? Great, thank you. Well done. First remedy in your pocket. Okay, now we're going to move on to quick remedy number 2. Does this image look familiar to anyone? You could be 65 years old, almost my age, and that one is living inside of me very strongly. Okay. Your wounded inner child sabotaging mindset uses immature emotionality as a way to get your basic needs met. Strategy is often getting fearful, angry, or resentful, big emotions that wave over you, overwhelm you, and just really immature emotionality, because that's one of the coping mechanisms we learned as a kid to survive. Okay. So here you go. Your wounded inner child symptom. You're overwhelmed with fear, anger, or resentment. Your remedy from your first inner wisdom first aid kit is the feelings wisdom. And the quick remedy is give them connection and belonging. Hello, what does every little being want? Okay, is that. So it's like you got to give it to them. So come explore a simple feelings remedy from your inner first aid kit to support your inner wounded child when they are activated. Don't you love this photo? I mean, who doesn't love kittens, right? But this is the energy you want to transmit to your young one. And I'm going to walk you through this quick remedy. You can have a prop. If you got a blanket or a shawl or even a coat nearby, you can grab it. If you don't, you can do an imaginary one. Okay, at the moment, if you can grab something, I forgot to tell you that, but that's okay. If not, you've got an imaginary shawl or blanket, you're good to go. Okay. So we're going to connect with the feeling window, which is full-bodied feeling. What do your feelings and heart know? You know, the deep emotional wisdom that each of us carries. So you're going to consciously explore the wisdom of your feelings and heart rather than be unconsciously flooded by them, which is what happens when our wounded inner child is up, just complete overwhelm and flooded. We all know that feeling. So one remedy for your inner wounded child's immature emotionality is to provide connection and belonging. Underneath the fear and anger and resentment is please love me. Please love me. So here's our quick mindset remedy experiential practice number 2. Again, please have your notebooks, journals, sketch pads nearby. Get yourself ready, just settle in and follow along. First, get a blanket or shawl that feels comforting. And again, if you don't have one, imagine your yummiest little shawl blanket, the fuzzy blanket you wrap up on the couch. You know, just bring that to your awareness, or get a physical one if you have it. Now, stop any external tasks, slow down again, and close your eyes and be still for just a few minutes, okay? You can do whatever breathing pattern you want. Just slow down, close your eyes, and get quiet for a minute or so. Breathing gently. Just settle in, slow down. Okay, keeping your eyes closed. Put both hands on your heart and imagine that you're holding your wounded inner child in your heart. And it's probably pretty easy to connect with that one. You kind of know when that one is up. Just imagine both hands on your heart and imagine that you're holding your wounded inner child in your heart. And feel that love coming towards them from you and the love back. And now take 3 slow, deep breaths. And with every out breath, gently release your wounded inner child's painful emotions to the earth while you physically pull the blanket or shawl around you, or imagine pulling a blanket or shawl around you to comfort your vulnerable young one. So wrap you and the child in the blanket shawl, and then with your breath, just gently release the painful emotions to the earth. Just let them go. The earth knows how to comfort. So just do that now. 3 gentle releasing breaths, wrapping the young one. Just feel that with your eyes closed. Feel that young one taking in that comfort and that belonging. Oh my goodness. Coming home to you and being loved. Wrapping that shawl and blanket. Okay, you can gently open your eyes and might take just a little bit if you want to jot anything down about what you noticed. You don't need to, you can stay with them. We'll be moving on very soon. Okay. So that imagine your wounded inner child feeling your care and love. And you can keep your eyes closed or gently open them. And there's just one image here of a young one. It could be any body, race, age. Just imagine your wounded inner child feeling your care and love. So here you go, your quick remedy. You're tracking the fearful, angry, resentment, overwhelm of your young one. Ah, my remedy, my feelings intelligent. Ah, it's time for you to nurture my scared little one and help them to feel their belonging. It's helpful to have a blanket or shawl or a warm, fuzzy coat nearby. Have it on hand, like in case of overwhelmed, wounded child, break glass, put shawl on. Okay, like something like that. Okay, so thank you. That's remedy number 2. Now we're going to move to quick mindset remedy number 3. Haha, the inner escapist. Where are they? Okay. Your wounded inner escapist sabotaging mindset uses evasion as a way to check out. The strategy is to disassociate and check out. And there's so many ways you can do this. I've got on my YouTube channel, I've got one on the inner escapist, and it's like constant. You can use you can use substances, you can use processes, you can use, checking out, all kinds of ways: drugs, alcohol, shopping, sex, screen addiction. I mean, bless the inner escapist in all of this. It's quite a difficult addiction right now. Right. And again, most of us know our inner escapist. That's a familiar character, and we have our preferred ways to check out because we're hurting. So again, the symptom is you're checked out and have disappeared from your life. Your inner wisdom first aid kit remedy is your senses wisdom. The quick remedy is get grounded and connected to your body because you've left your body. So get back in your body. I know sometimes easier said than done, and I want to respect. Sometimes we disassociate because of profound trauma. So please don't hear in this webinar in any way I'm saying, oh, just, get back in your body. Sometimes you can't. So I want to be really respectful. I'm giving you remedies for those of you who are adequately resourced, and that if you're in a place where you are working about healing trauma, you need support, and do not in any way think you should be doing anything other than whatever healing journey you're on. So come explore a simple senses remedy from your inner first aid kit to support your inner escapist when they're activated. We're going to use the sensing window, full present sensing. What do your body and senses know? Like, hello, body. Hello. Here we go. Okay, this is a fun experiential one coming up. So one remedy for the evasion moves is to get back into your body and connect with your senses. Beautiful, quick remedy you can do. Okay, so here is quick mindset remedy practice number 3. And I do invite you to stand up if you can, if you're able-bodied enough to stand up, and give yourself a little bit of room. It's choice-based. You don't have to do it. You can do it from sitting down or lying down. That's fine too. We're going to do a patting down exercise, helping you get in your body. Okay. So, and you probably want to have your eyes closed, but eyes open, but you can have them closed if you want. First, again, stop any external tasks, be present right now. Slow down and stand still for just a few moments, like feel your feet on the earth, okay? There you are, standing, right. Okay, just get your center of gravity, get yourself aligned. Now take 3 slow, deep breaths and feel those out breaths through your nostrils. And again, you could have eyes open or closed, but take those breaths in and feel both ways, the nostrils, the air passing. Breathing in, air through nostrils, breathing out, mouth or nostrils. One more time, breathing in and breathing out, okay? Now you're going to move into a simple patting exercise to ground yourself. You'll be using your hands to pat your whole body, exhaling rhythmically as you go. Again, it's choice-based. If this doesn't feel comfortable, don't do it. So what you do is you can start with your feet. With both hands, you rigorously pat your body, starting with your feet. Pat, 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 both hands going. Say right hand on right leg. Then you move your patting hands up to your legs, to your torso, moving your body as you go pat, 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 make contact. And then you come up and you pat your hip area, you pat your bum if you want, your torso, your chest. Don't forget your arms and your shoulders. I'm doing it with you as a pat, pat, pat. And then pat your head, your beautiful head. Pat, 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 pat. Like really, don't hurt yourself, but just feel your body and breathe and shake and move and pat, 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 pat. Oh, it's so good. Get grounded in your body. You can stomp a little bit. You can make sounds if you feel comfortable. It's like, woo, waking yourself up and getting back in your body. Wasn't that a great rush? I mean, you could do that. You could do that in 30 seconds. Granted, you probably want to pay attention to who you're around, but it's just like, get back in your body, pat your body. I want to honor Charles Lawrence, a wonderful shamanic teacher in New York, who taught me that practice. It's quite an amazing practice. Okay, now feel the rush in your body. Okay, great. So again, you probably don't have to write anything down, but just notice what that was like. Okay. So your inner escapist symptom, you're tracking your inner figure. Oh, I'm disassociating and checking out. Wow, I'm doing a lot of screen time. Wow, I'm eating a lot of chocolate chip cookies right now. Whoa, wait a minute, stop. How about some senses intelligence as a remedy? Get grounded in your body and senses. Stand up. If you're on the couch clicking through, or you've been at the computer for 2 hours watching Facebook, scrolling through Facebook, stop, stand up and pat your body down. Okay, get grounded in your senses. So there you have it. That's remedy number 3. Now we're going to move to mindset remedy number 4. Thanks for being with me on this. So your wounded inner denier. This one's sabotaging mindset uses repression to get you stuck in self-marginalization. What its strategy is to keep you ignorant of unacceptable parts of you, such as your anger, your creativity, your power, your erotic energy, your sensitivity. And remember, all of these inner figures, they got constellated when you're pretty young, trying to keep you safe and not get hurt. Well, for most of us as kids, again, blaming no one, there were certain parts of ourselves that the family and the world did not want to see. Thank you very much. So let's stick it in the closet. Let's zip it up in the luggage. Let's close our eyes and say, no, 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 that doesn't exist. Okay. That's what your inner denier is doing, is repressing parts of you, throwing it into invisibility, marginalizing parts of you. And I want to say here, when your inner denier is up, you are with the edge of what we call inner shadow work, meaning we've put parts of ourselves in the shadow. It doesn't mean shadow's wrong. It just means we've made something marginalized. And when that happens, you want to go really slow, because this is something, again, like healing trauma work. You may need a therapist or an ally to help you, an external one. So you don't want to quickly bring something out of the unconscious that may be really challenging for your conscious self to work with. So I'm giving you this remedy gently, and with the caveat, if it doesn't feel right to do it, please don't do it. Okay. So your inner denier symptom, you're stuck in denial of key parts of you. Many times in the healing and transformational work I do, and many of my colleagues do, we ask you to complete this sentence. If it's one thing I'm not, it's. Okay, you might do this for a moment. If it's one thing I'm not, it's. Let it have spontaneously. That's often an indication of something that you've marginalized. Doesn't mean you have to act out in a way that's difficult, but it's like we all repress parts of ourselves to survive. And sometimes in your life journey, you're ready to stop marginalizing a part and bring it out. One of the remedies you can use, inner wisdom remedies, is your imagination wisdom. So the quick remedy is to use your imagination to expand your sense of yourself, so you're not locking yourself down. Gentle, easy, quick remedy. Use only if it feels right. Okay. We're going to work with the imagination window, the deep imagination. It's like, what does your imagination know? Meaning, if your eyes are closed, what imagery happens? What memory comes unbidden? It's like your imagination is a huge wisdom in you, and we're going to do a little bit with it. Okay. So we're going to explore an imagination remedy to help shift the stuckness of your inner denier. I'm going to help you lift off and get some more energy of viewing. So we're going to use your imagination to connect to an expanded sense of yourself. That's to address the repression moves of your inner denier. So here's your remedy practice number 4, quick mindset remedy practice number 4. Again, have your notebook, journal, a sketch pad nearby. Take a nice deep breath and in we go. Again, always stop any external tasks, slow down, close your eyes and be still for maybe half a minute. I'm looking at my time. Okay, so, but you're kind of warmed up. So close your eyes and breathe a little bit and just slow down and be present. Breathing gently in and out. Okay. Now, with your eyes closed, notice where in your body you feel stuck. Mind doesn't have to figure out, your body knows. Just kind of scan gently. Ooh, twinge of stuckness right there. Just notice where you feel some stuckness. Don't judge it, just acknowledge it. Okay, still with your eyes closed, put both hands on your heart and imagine connecting to the warmth and light of the sun. Just let that come in as an imagery. Maybe some of you are actually in the sunny climate. Maybe some of you aren't, but you know you have a memory of having the sun shining on you and warming your body. So bring that imagery to you with your eyes closed and rest in it. Feel the sun on you and warming your body. Let's just feel that warmth, feel it in the imagery, really feel it in your body. The sun is shining on you. Okay, now eyes closed still. Imagine bringing the warmth and light of the sun into the stuck place in your body. Just imagine that sunlight, that warmth right there on the part of your body that feels stuck. Eyes closed, be with that imagery. Just imagine that sun warming that stuck place. And feel the sensation of the warmth and light in your body melting the stuckness with your imagery. Imagine the stuckness just melting and dissolving with the warmth of the sun. Very easy and gentle. The sun is doing it. You don't have to work. Just imagine the sun melting the stuckness and letting it be released. Rest a minute or half a minute in the feeling of being unstuck. Just take that in. Oh, imagining the sun warming and melting the stuckness. Just breathing in. Okay, so gently let yourself come out. While I'm talking, you can jot something down. We're in the home stretch with time. I started with a Zoom wedgie. Now I got a time wedgie. Hello. Okay, So here again, your inner denier symptom. When you track that you're shut down, disassociated, hopeless, that's often a common experience of the denier, then you're going to be using the inner wisdom of your imagination. Connect to your capacity to imagine expansive and healing options for your life. Melt the stuckness. Gentle little quick remedy. Okay, so there's number 4. So the next time an inner wounded figure tries to sabotage you with limiting mindsets, get a remedy from your inner wisdom first aid kit. And I don't mean it in a superficial way. Sometimes our work of freeing ourselves from our wounded inner figures is gradual. Couple minutes of a little quick remedy. Do that over time, and you've made a huge change in your life. So there you have it. If you restore balance in your own self, you will be contributing immensely to the healing of the world. That's what we started with. So there's the contribution. Thank you for going through this process with me. And here's a synopsis of this. I will end up making a copy of this, or you could take a screenshot. Actually, why don't you take a screenshot right now if you can? These are just a synopsis of it, and I will get that to those of you who've been in it. Just a quick, okay, here's what I'm tracking. It's a symptom. Here's a remedy I could use. All right. Thank you. And then one more quote for us. You and I possess within ourselves at every moment of our lives, under all circumstances, the power to transform the quality of our lives. Werner Erhard. Yeah. Great. So threshold practice to complete. Put your feet on the ground and take a big breath in and a big breath out, and thank yourself, hug yourself, touch your heart, say, whoa, thank you being for doing this as support for yourself. And thank you all for being part of this. Again, I'm going to put some stuff in now. All right, there you go. So I want to tell you about the Vibes community, which is this amazing group of vibrant community of intuitive souls on a transformational journey to become grounded visionary change makers. We use the Transformation Journey Roadmap as a signature guide. My enrollment is open now. It closes on March 18th. I want to let you know, because I only open it twice a year, because we go on a transformational journey together to become grounded visionary change makers. It includes all kinds of wonderful things. You have it. Thanks so much for my Mr. Toad's wild ride with all of you. Those are off. Thanks for being here. Step out whenever you need